Welcome to The Inner Wonder. I'm Alex and I'm your host.
Hi thinkers. Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach was one of the first books I read as a kid. And I remember that as a kid, it really left a mark on me. It uses a clever analogy of humans to seagulls, but portrays society just as we know it. I recall reading this book multiple times as a child, and although the availability of video games or playing with my dog or simply pretending I was a star at the basketball court we had in the neighborhood were always very appealing, reading this book really caught my attention. So what is this book about? The story follows Jonathan Livingston, a seagull, like all others, but unlike all others. Jonathan Livingston is uninspired and frustrated by a life whose sole purpose is the search for food. Jonathan Livingston believes in a deeper meaning and a purpose of life, that he can fly not just for food, but also for joy. He practices day and night on flying, learning new skills, acquiring greater speed, and reaching new heights. The rest of the seagulls look at him and reject him. They make fun of him and his attitude, label him as the outcast, the weird one. Jonathan Livingston feels that he doesn't belong, and this feeling makes him sad, of course. At the end of the day, we all want to belong. It's also the feeling that the other seagulls can't see the vision of life that he sees, and that they remain in the status quo of a plateau life where nothing changes, where all we do is fly for food, because that's how we learned it. Jonathan Livingston, though, never gives up on his dream and his desire. He keeps on going, irrespective of the judgment and criticism. He goes on. He sets goals and achieves them. He reaches new levels of life and heights of personal growth. The story is rather impactful and reminds us all to never give up in the search of something greater, to not settle for what we have been taught, and that judgment and criticism are simply barriers to something more beautiful, something that we shall seek. This story reminds us to dream and not to give up on our dreams, even if what we imagine seems crazy. Jonathan Livingston reminds us, don't believe in what your eyes are telling you. All they see is limitation. Look with your understanding. Find out what you already know, and you'll see the way to fly. Up to this point, this is a lovely and cool story to listen to and think about. What continues, though, is what I now understand captured my focus as a young Alex. Jonathan Livingston continues his journey to his vision, and after some time of exploring, he meets a community of seagulls with similar vision and ideas, where they all seek to fly better. He's amazed by the potential and skills yet to acquire. He feels at home. He feels this is a heaven he belongs. It's a strange feeling, as throughout his life he felt the outcast, and now he sees that other seagulls share his vision. Of course, it's not all bright. Jonathan Livingston continues to meet seagulls who reject his ideas and visions, and he will always find such seagulls. But the idea that somewhere in the world seagulls exist that share this vision, and that all is left for Jonathan Livingston is to continue exploring, living, and practicing his dream, is reassuring and peaceful. I know many people feel the need to belong, and that forces them to do things that everybody does, even if we don't wish to. Call this drinking, smoking, clubbing, talking about things we don't really want to or believe in, keeping your hobbies and interests hidden and in silence, feeling sad because as a boy you don't like football, or that as a girl you just love it, but somehow you're not supposed to. Feeling that you don't want to marry at the age, but everybody does, or that the work you do is not your greatest passion, but your parents are happy. This can be thought for everyone. But let's imagine for a second that we could just do what we want and what fulfills us, and that there are people around us that feel the same, and there is a community where we belong and where our ideas are shared. let's imagine that we will not all be alone if we act based on our heart and that society will accept us. If we accept ourselves, and society will accept us if we accept ourselves first. And I think that's the key for Jonathan Livingston as well. He accepts his difference and his likings. He doesn't reject them, he doesn't hide them, he's sick for them. In doing so, he lives his dream, inspires others to do so, and meets like-minded seagulls to share a fulfilled life with. As a kid, it felt nice to read this book, and I couldn't grasp why. But now I know. I know that smile I unconsciously had in my room alone reading this book is a smile of hopefulness. It's a smile of hope. It's a smile that you can live your dreams and where seagulls and communities are there for everyone. My advice, thinkers: keep exploring. Keep your visions and who you are, and you will find your place, your people, and your seagulls in this world. As Jonathan Livingston puts it, you have the freedom to be yourself, your true self, here and now, and nothing can stand in your way. Thank you, thinkers.
Until our minds meet again, enjoy the inner wonder you're creating. Thanks everybody. See you next episode.